Oh, daddy, give it to me, daddy.
7825, code 6, 105 North Avenue, 52.
Prepare to be fucked by the long dick of the law. This isn't happening. Everyone look away, please. Nothing to see here. Wee-woo, wee-woo, wee-woo.
You can't break those cuffs.
Make him away, Ty.
Welcome to Thought Cops, the only podcast for every week. We talk about what's outraging the internet, and then we let you be the judge, we let you be the jury, we let you be the executioner, too, in the court of public opinion. I'm Officer Kevin, and with me...
And with me is also Officer I Am Grant.
Hello, I am Grant. How are you today?
Hello.
All right, let's give a quick thank you to our guests from last week. Or should I say guests, plural? Let's say to the hard men working hard...
You can say guests plural, but you have to flip the letters upside down so that they can read them.
I see.
Yeah.
You know what? Fuck, I just realized I screwed up the intro.
Did you?
Yeah, I forgot to do the thing.
What thing?
The precinct thing.
Oh, you don't have to. It's up to you.
Let's just cut here, and then we'll redo...
All of it.
Yeah. Rewind noise. Welcome to Thought Cops, the only podcast for every week. We talk about what's outraging the internet, and then we let you be the judge, we let you be the jury, we let you be the executioner, too, in the court of public opinion. Coming to you live from Precinct #YOLO.
That's not a number.
In Neo, Chicago. I'm Officer Kevin.
And with me is I Am Officer Grant.
God damn it. Hey, what's up? I am Grant.
Hey. Hello.
It's like I am Sam?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Let's give a thank you to our guests
Try
from
not
last
to
week.
do the offensive jokes at the top of the show.
Hey,
that's me saying that to myself.
Okay.
Just reminding me.
He was saying that into his phone. That's
stick
a
him
phone,
in the middle.
Yeah, phone memo.
Yeah.
The hard men working hard from last time, Lakembra, Sam Glaze, and ACU/Vistus. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I told them to come back on the show anytime, and Lakembra said, okay, how about next episode? So, returning guest, no, I'm kidding. But this week's guest, we got a big one, Kris Wilson of famed Cyanide and Happiness, and Explosm.net. How are you doing, Kris?
Hey, I'm doing great. Evening, officers. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, you were internet legend status. I feel that everybody... let me gush for a sec. Everybody has seen a Cyanide and Happiness comic that is probably at least within our age bracket.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I remember this back in high school, college. You've been going since 2005. Is that right?
Yeah. On Explosm.net, I also created Cyanide and Happiness in high school, so I imagine I'm around that same age bracket as you and everyone else who's kind of seen CNH. And to those people, thank you, and I'm sorry.
So that must have been like the DeviantArt days, basically.
Yeah, that's gotta be.
I actually had a really big presence on DeviantArt for a while, and then I just kind of, once we started doing things on Explosm, I was like, actually, this is kind of a fetishy site, and kind of outgrew it. But yeah, I still have an old DeviantArt up there. It's terrible. Enjoy it.
I got to figure out how to delete my DeviantArt.
They won't let you.
I got to find out how to find what's on your DeviantArt page, because now I'm interested.
No, you don't.
Oh, you're going to see my OCs?
Yeah.
Yeah. With and they'll be doing some yaoi. It's hot stuff. Don't read it with the grandma in the room.
I try not to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be... It's got to be weird, though, like being sort of a big presence online for, like, you've had a lot of staying power. I still see Cyanide and Happiness cartoons, like, pop up in my news feeds, like, every once in a while. And it's like, how do you figure like your presence in like the ever changing landscape of the internet is? I know that was a very awkwardly worded question.
Yeah, that was something else.
I tried to do my best.
Do you have that written on your arm?
Yeah. He's been sweating it off though. It's like just smeared black ink. So
I'm playing into the I am Sam joke.
Not enough I am Sam references. They should also be keeping up the same amount of presence.
Very, very few.
I don't know how we do it necessarily, but I think a big factor that plays into it for us is we really don't take ourselves very seriously, and we just kind of scoot around and keep up with we kind of keep changing things to make sure that we're not bored and the audience isn't bored. So we go from things like comics to animation to card games to video games, and it allows us to try new stuff and give people, keep people on their toes as far as what we'll do. But I couldn't give a straight answer on how we've managed to stick around. I know there are comics that are older and online animation series that have been going for a long time, but somehow we manage.
That's an extremely impressive track record, though. I mean, the internet has changed so much since 2005. I mean, the internet's changed so much since we started this in 2017.
Yeah, I think 2016.
Yeah. True. Yeah,
it is. It's becoming both greater and far worse every day.
Do you ever like mentally just sort of remove yourself from like the entire like entity of everything you've done and just be like, oh shit, I'm a part of this, that I've like, I've been foundational in this thing that's like, bigger than I am.
Do I ever remove myself from it?
Yeah, like mentally, like step back from it and just be like, oh shit, like, look at all the stuff that I've done, sort of thing. Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, at first it was really easy to remove yourself from it, and it was harder to kind of see that as a big picture, because I lived in really small town Wyoming and didn't see the effects or how celebrated Cyanide happiness was until we started going to conventions and stuff like that. And that changed a lot perspective wise.
What was the first convention you got invited to?
San Diego Comic-Con 2007.
That's a big one.
It is. Thankfully, Maddox let us use his booth, and San Diego grandfathers people in. You can't just say, "Hey, I have a big audience, let me in." They have to kind of try to keep people there. So thanks to Maddox letting us use his booth, we were able to get into San Diego every year.
Yeah, he's kind of changed over the years.
That guy's launched a lot of careers.
Yeah, well, that's all I'll say.
He's tanked a lot of other ones, but he's launched a lot of careers.
It's true. He's left right up and down.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, I realized you guys did animations and stuff, and I was like, oh, this is actually, I think it was when Maddox voiced one of the characters on one of the animations. I was like, oh, I didn't know that you guys were doing like YouTube videos and stuff like that.
Right. Well, we all when we all met, we were animators, and I started doing a comic just as kind of a break from that, and it kind of, I heard a great quote from Syriac, and it really holds true. It was, I'm reciting this poorly, but it's something that success.
It's okay. I'm asking questions poorly, so
Let's
it's a poorly done show.
Yeah,
to be honest,
we'll clumsily fall through this together. We got it. But yeah, the quote was something like, "Success is doing stupid shit while you're waiting for people to catch on to your real shit, and then you realize stupid shit is your real shit." And
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it seems to hold true, because we were all animators and doing, hard work over months to release something, and it's the thing that we used, the comic was what we used to take a break from that, and somehow that became our big thing.
That's actually kind of a good I wanted to hold on to this, but I guess we might as well toss this out there. It's a good segue into this question. We had someone email us a question for you. I don't know if should I say the guy's name?
Scott. We'll say that.
Scott. It's Scott says, hey, Kris, what if any non-comedic content do you want to create? Cheers. And then
Scott.
his name. Yeah.
Cheers, question mark.
So is there like other stuff you'd like to venture into that you haven't like had time to, or is like animation the number one thing where you're like, this is just what I've always wanted to do and this is me doing it?
Well, I can definitely say that, you know, things like the animations in the card games and the video games is something that we do want to do and have wanted to do, so we sought that. But outside of comedy, I really like doing horror. I really like doing stuff that's depressing and just kind of, you know, the opposite spectrum. It's really fun to do comedy, and then it's really fun to do the adverse of that.
I would say a lot of people have been coming to the theory that comedy and horror are linked together a lot. And I know there's been a few productions of things on TV and the internet in the last few years that have been sort of a comedy horror kind of mashup.
Like Evil Dead, yeah.
That's one example, yeah, for way back when. But
I think it's comedy plus horror equals tragedy.
yes,
Is
That's
I think,
correct.
the equation for that.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, that's that mathematically checks out. And, you know, horror is just kind of often used in such a campy way that, you know, if you're not enjoying a horror movie, you're making fun of it, and it's still kind of entertaining in that aspect.
true.
But I want horror everything. I'm way into that kind of stuff. I want horror porn. I want
All right, I'm in.
any sort of media you can slide it into. I think it's great, and for that same reason, that when it's not great, it's still kind of hilarious. You know, tense and serious situations.
Yeah.
But
Well, if you ever
that
need
might
any, if you ever need any porn stars for one of your horror porns that you'll be directing, hit us up. We had one on our show.
Yeah,
I'm sure she'd be into it.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Who was it? If you don't mind me asking.
Goth Charlotte or Charlotte Sartre.
Okay. I haven't heard of that, but if it's up the horror porn alley, then I should probably look into it. Yeah, I'll have you guys all on, and people will watch it, and they won't know whether to come or to scream. It'll be great.
Or to laugh. Or to laugh.
Or to laugh. They won't know what to do, and that's always good. You know, you want people walking out being confused with their own emotions. You know, swept off their own emotional footing.
Yeah, definitely.
The element of surprise.
Yeah, exactly. And nothing's better with the element surprise than porn.
True. You never know what you're going to get. We do have a little bit of show news, a little bit of housekeeping.
Ooh, dish.
So we got the live show coming up August 22nd, Chicago. Go on the thoughtcopspodcast.com. Get your tickets. They're going fast, I assume. I haven't looked at it in a while.
They're going fast because Asterios Kokonos and Mumkey Jones are going to be there.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
then maybe our parents will go.
If we're lucky.
Yeah,
If my
we're
parents
lucky.
love me enough.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
bring
we
them on
also-
stage.
Get on up
You
here.
do not want that. Unless you want it to turn into some sort of a weird sermon or something. You do not want that.
I could be down for that.
Speaking of weird sermons, this is unrelated, but we have a new T-shirt design also.
Speaking of, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's on our Teespring store, which also...
Go ahead and read off that excessively long URL. Just kidding.
thoughtcopspodcast.com. I'm linking to it.
Yeah.
It's in the post.
Click below.
It's a parody of the Guardian Angels shirts from the 80s. If anybody remembers or knows what that is, you Google it.
Yeah.
You're on your phone right now. Anyway, just Google it. Look up what that is, and then just figure Thought Cops instead of Guardian Angels, and that's pretty much all it is. Buy it. It's $20.
You
Buy
also
it
read
now.
that off of your arm as well. That was
Yeah. I have the whole show written on my arm.
we have a Google Doc, but Grant insists on.
That's why I'm so loopy right now, is because the pen ink is sort of going through my bloodstream into my brain.
pressing way too hard on your skin.
Yeah.
Right. Good thing you have those Popeye forearms to fit it all on.
Yeah. Very large.
That's great. Get the
forearms.
Guardian Angels shirt and cage the nipple.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
For that rousing endorsement. Keep the nipple. Free the nipple? Or are we caging the nipple or are we freeing the nipple?
We're caging it with these shirts.
All right.
You can cut out the nipples on the shirts if you want.
That is your choice.
It's your choice as an American.
Or whatever you are.
Or an Australian. Although you need a license to use sharp objects in whatever countries.
Yeah, what are the nipple laws in Australia?
That's a good question.
They have to be upside down.
If you have the answer, give us a voicemail, 312-788-7361. Just right off the top, just say hashtag Aussie nipples. Lakembra in the chat, who's from Australia, says nipples must be contained at all times. Well, I like to hear from some other voices besides.
Do your best.
This Joker.
Let's see your best impression. Let's hear it.
Great.
Who am I?
Let's
I have to ask for clarification on what an upside down nipple is. Like, which direction is that going?
The opposite.
So inward?
It's like Fibonacci spiral. I don't know.
Send us your drawings. ThoughtCopsPodcast@gmail.com.
You guys do the fucking work.
All right.
Anyway. Horror porn within itself.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good twist.
Yeah.
The case of the purple nurple that never untwisted itself.
Oh,
yikes. Somebody's into it. I don't know.
Yeah, nipple distortion. We've lost a lot of greats to that.
Yeah.
It's definitely some horror if I've ever seen it before.
Speaking of horror, let's get to a very famous segment of the show called 2 Minutes of Hate. That has nothing to do with that. Basically, what we do here is blanket punish any annoying trends or any annoying online whatever. We see it, we're scrolling through our news feed or we're scrolling through our timeline. We just see these things that people say and do every day online, and we just want to put them in jail. Lock them up. Woo! Isn't that right, Grant?
Yeah.
Thanks.
I'm looking at my gun right now. It's very alluring.
Don't make me look at my gun.
It's very scary in here, folks. The atmosphere in the room is always tense.
It's dark and ominous. Kevin, what's your 2 minutes of hate this week?
Reply guys with no sense of humor.
That's all reply guys.
Well, there's different flavors of reply guys. You got the hot chicks posting pics on Twitter, and they're just like...
Those are my favorite reply guys.
They're the ones who are trying to be funny. They're like, I'm going to say some little quirky joke, and maybe she'll notice me and give me a fave.
Right.
And maybe one day they'll get married. I don't know. But in this situation, this is when you post something on Twitter and whatever, it gets passed around and people reply to your joke with answers. It's like it's like asking a rhetorical question and these guys are like answering. So I posted some dumb joke on Twitter the other day because it's all I do.
Oh yeah, I saw
and
this.
all these guys were replying to me like saying I was whining and complaining about something that was so clearly a joke.
Yeah. Do you have the tweet right now?
It was, to paraphrase it, it was like...
it was about...
Yeah,
you made this mistake on the show. It was about centuries.
Yeah, so I said, I'll never not be pissed off that the 1900s is called the 20th century. What am I supposed to do, math to figure out what century I'm in?
Yeah.
And then all these people were responding and saying, it's not that hard, you just... you just remove the wall, like -1, or you go, think about this, 1990 XX.
Yeah, as if you
and it's
don't
like, what
know.
the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, what do you not understand about this?
The year 1 was the first century, and so the year 10 is the second century.
I get it, but why are we still doing this?
You know what I mean.
It's the 21st century. Can we just abandon this gobbledygook? I'm going to say that once every episode now.
Okay, great.
Great choice of words. I will say that you do also have, there are those there's difference in reply guys, right? Like there's those reply guys who, will just say, ooh, I love the lighting,
exactly.
Or try to
that's exactly it.
Yeah. So I can definitely agree that the ones with less sense of humor, they need to be locked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris, you must deal with a excessive amount of reply guys.
We've got some, but luckily our reply guys, they mostly just try to compound on a joke and make a joke or add to it and stuff. So we're pretty lucky. We got some good reply guys. Good reply guys. They love our composition. They love our lighting.
Yeah, there can be sometimes that like someone makes a joke and then someone adds onto the joke and then people just keep like snowballing it. Sometimes that can be really hilarious, and then a lot of times it's like you killed it and stop desecrating the fucking body, please. But you've also got like, your comics and all of your stuff go like all over the web, so you've got to, I guess, keep tabs on all of the reply guys because there's got to be a ton out there.
Or he could just completely ignore them.
Yeah, it's got to be easier.
The power is mine. I choose
be
to
nice.
check them out, though. Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, I can't complain about being in the position of people just trying to make jokes to what we do. Even on YouTube and stuff, our comments are 90% people trying to make a pun or a joke based off of what they saw, which, ain't so bad.
Yeah. Do you ever get in like any serious trouble or any like serious hate over a cartoon?
On occasion, but honestly, it's a lot less now than when we were first starting off. People kind of get the idea of what we do. But, that actually happened to me yesterday, in fact.
Do tell.
I made a... Okay. So, we never went out to be offensive. We were just informed that we're offensive. Yeah. So we're never like trying to make the darkest or edgiest joke. But I made a joke that I thought was a little sad, but kind of on the silly side. And it's just a one-panel joke of Garfield on his deathbed. And Garfield is saying, "All I want is one more Monday." And very, very emotional reactions to that.
Really?
Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing you'll learn on the internet is we can do whatever, we can do whatever joke with whatever dark humor, violence, and things like that. But what people really get, actually, even people who are diehard fans, what they often really get offended at is when you kill a cartoon animal.
Was it really bloody or violent or anything?
No, it was just more tragic. John's sitting there looking at Garfield with tears in his eyes. And
I don't know. There's like a weird like mental attachment people have. I'm finding this like with Game of Thrones and stuff like that, and how upset people are getting. And like, I don't think that the last couple episodes were great, but like people are treating it like it's this whole other world of just like, that this is all made up, and there's like children getting bombed in Syria and shit. Like, not like to fucking like...
Doesn't matter to me. I'm boycotting Jim Davis for killing off Garfield.
Basically. I mean, not to diminish, people's whatever, but it's one of those things.
Diminish their whatever. Well said.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can have your whatever feelings and you can feel them, but I killed a cartoon cat.
About Garfield.
I know, right? Which people are never passionate about until you kill him.
Yeah.
I don't think Garfield's a daily thought that these people have. But yeah, it does become doctrine, doesn't it? Like, people get attached. It's great because it's really fun to experiment on things like that when you make a character in a comic or a cartoon. You could just give a shape, a face, and then you're like, this is Tommy. He really likes warm pants fresh out of the dryer. And people are like, oh, that's Tommy. And then you kill Tommy and they're broken.
Yeah.
They're broken about it. And we often do that with our characters where this is the character, this is their name. Oh, they're dead. And
it's the very basics. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. This episode is dedicated to Tommy.
Yeah, rest in peace, Tommy. I'm sorry. Sorry, buddy. I'm sorry I couldn't be there for you more.
Speaking of Tommy, Kevin, what do we do about these reply guys with no sense of humor?
Oh, yeah.
Shoot him into the sun.
All right.
Good call.
There you have it, folks. Kris, do you have a 2 minutes of hate this week?
Yeah, honestly, I could probably go on a half hour, but 2 minutes
Please
of hate.
Do so.
Yeah, I could do it. I can bitch about the internet all day. Basically, something that's kind of I've been thinking about lately that's been getting on my nerves is we've all been on the internet. We've all been on the internet a while, I'm going to wager. True. And there's this thing that happens when controversy goes around where people kind of get behind this shield saying that I received death threats, and then everyone's supposed to go, whoa, okay, this has gone too far, I guess is the reaction they're looking for. But I mean, I feel like we've all received death threats. Yeah. It's like not and they never go out and explain it or clarify or say what the death threat was or anything like that. It's always, I received death threats, okay? And I'm just going to take a break from the internet. And
I also wonder, like, what constitutes as a death threat, Right. Because I've like uploaded videos of me playing music onto like YouTube, and people will be like, kill yourself. Like,
exactly.
Is that... I'm not like, oh, I got death threats for my Mars Volta cover of Area Tarka, me playing solo guitar.
Nice,
Like,
great choice, by the way. That's not an
Thank
easy.
you.
That's not easy
No,
guitar.
it's, a lot of those songs are really fun to play, but
Yeah, they're amazing.
yeah.
Yeah,
And some people just don't
think
enjoy that.
I think a lot of it is like that's why they won't clarify, right? Like I've gotten death threats since I was like 14, 15 years old on the internet, and for some reason I feel like people are getting like just KYS sent to them. They're like, I'm receiving death threats, okay? And they never go further. They never talk about it. They never say anything about it because that's not what's important. It's their way of saying everybody's picking on me, and
Yeah.
and
people wear it like as a badge of honor.
yeah,
Like, oh well, I must be making some kind of point that's correct because I'm getting so much backlash, and it's like, or like people just hate you. I
yeah.
don't know.
It's like, oh, I'm sure my mom has received death threats on Pinterest or something like that. But if you're getting, like, there's worse things. If you're getting swatted, or if there's like, you're getting doxxed. There's like so many things that are worse than a death threat. But people just kind of seem to pump the brakes as soon as it's a death threat. Which you can, when you're on the internet after a while, especially if you try to make a presence and everything. I'd rather get death threats than perverts, but basically you'll just kind of see a lot of people just kind of I am receiving a death threat. I'm going to take a break from the internet. Oh, everyone, please, moment of silence for me if you don't mind. And just they're so prevalent. You can tell that a lot of people. Really, it's almost fetishy where they're like, I hope they read this message I sent them, tell them to kill themselves or yada yada yada. And maybe
You there,
Still
Chris?
there? Does audio cut out?
Think so.
I don't think. Rest in peace. You guys can still hear us? Could be. I'll just wait. Someone someone made good on that death threat, says Lakembra. I'm gonna shoot my mom a text real fast because she keeps trying to call me twice. I wonder what's that important.
Hey, sorry about that. I kept rolling. My internet dropped out for some reason.
Oh, no problem.
Where did I cliff off there?
Death threats. I think one of the last things you said was your mom has
Death
probably
threat on
gotten
Pinterest.
death threats
Okay.
from Pinterest.
Yeah, just my point being that I think a lot of people do kind of send death threats in a fetishy way, where they are hoping you read it and blah blah blah. They're not really showing any point of action. When I was 14, I received a death threat where they Google mapped my parents' house and like circled it in red and were like, "Die, motherfucker! I'm gonna fucking yada yada."
Yeah.
But I lived out in the middle of Wyoming, and I was like, "Do it. It's yeah. Don't try. Watch the roads; they're icy."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, get off the 405 and take exit 48,
Right.
2 miles.
By the way, guns are extremely prevalent here, and come on over. We haven't had people visit us in 3 years, so that helps. But I just think that I think that we've all been on the internet. We've all received a death threat. We're fine. We're gonna make it.
We will survive.
Yeah.
If you could punish them, Chris, how would you?
That's a great question. I would say probably slit their knees, so every time they walk forward, they kick themselves in the crotch to death.
What a way to go. Hey, that's a good threat. That's a sexy, kinky. No, I'm just kidding.
Horrific. Checks all the boxes.
Yeah.
Sweet.
We got the plot now. Twist of nipples.
I think we
Ball
can turn this
kicking.
into a
Yeah.
horror porn script.
Now we just got to find someone to do all of the writing because I'm lazy.
I'm writing for porn. I could do that.
So, Graham, what's yours?
Oh God.
Jesus, man.
Look
You're
deep
scaring
within.
me.
Find your center.
I don't know. Finding my center is the opposite of what I want to do for this one. YouTubers running for political office.
What? Is that a thing?
I will repeat.
Oh my god.
YouTubers My favorite word in the English vocabulary. Running for political office.
Please tell me more. Who is running for office?
Sargon of Akkad, for once, is running for...
fucking way. Oh my god. Ugh.
And it's literally as bad as you think that it could. It's the worst thing I think I've ever witnessed in my life. Like, he's running for political office, and people are because this is a guy who his claim to fame is making 3 hour long contentious political videos where he just like rambles and rambles and rambles, and so it's pretty easy to quote mine him.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
So someone like one of the things that's gotten the most pushback is he was talking about some other politician, and there was some like rape joke controversy or something.
Oh,
and he said,
I'm familiar. Yeah.
She's so ugly, I wouldn't even rape her. This is a person, and
there's not enough beer in the world to change my mind or something like that.
He repeated it back and then said, well, if she's going to be a huge bitch, I'm going to be a huge dick. And then announced his candidacy.
Oh my god. That's fucking hysterical, honestly.
It's not just him, though, is it?
No, it's not just him. But I'm not done raking him over the coals yet.
Let's go.
There was another thing where someone was like, you talk all this stuff about like freedom of speech and stuff like that. Well, doesn't speech sometimes lead to violence? And he was like, well, yeah, sometimes, but like, is it a joke or no? And it's like, what the fuck? That's not the fucking tipping point. What the fuck does that mean?
Is it a joke?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know the exact quote, but it was like the stupidest fucking answers. It's like, this is a person that not only does he have no qualification, but he doesn't even have the qualifications to run the YouTube channel that got taken down.
Oh god.
I'm pretty sure it did.
Yeah, I've tried to, I've just known him for like heard his name is like, oh, this is some Gamergate Chad out there. And then I listened to a couple of his public speaking and his debates and everything. And, I was just surprised by how much it sounded like he hasn't thought about what he's saying. I was incredibly surprised.
He's just making it up on the fly.
Yeah. And I just think that it's just people seeing people like him in his position, and there's just a lot there like, oh, I can do that.
Yeah.
They're bullshitting the same way we are right now.
At this very moment.
Yeah, exactly. And he's running for office. I imagine they're in the UK.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Running for parliament or something. But we got another one.
They call it.
Yeah, I don't know. The Parliament Funkadelics. He's running for Parliament Funkadelic. He's running to be Eddie Hazel.
I can't wait to see his campaign ads. Don't you hate Anita Sarkeesian? Me too. But is he gonna go? Is he running under Sargon?
He's running under Carl Benjamin. But
okay.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows him as that, which is hilarious to me because he's just like a fat accountant-looking guy with a British accent.
Yeah, I shouldn't enjoy this kind of abuse of government systems like I really am.
Well, but wait, there's more. Do you know who Joey Salads is?
Is he running for office?
He's running for office.
That's great.
He's running to be a congressman in New York.
And what name is he going to use?
He actually...
Please tell me that's not his real name.
Joey Saladino.
That's right. Joey Saladino, congressman.
And when...
does anybody... what's he passionate about? I don't know. Like public pranks, I guess.
He's very strong, like right wing. Here, his Twitter profile, his banner. You can see he has long hair, so we know that he's changed. But he's wearing a MAGA hat, so he's sort of a right wing.
And his bio says
right wing salad. Yeah,
first YouTuber to run for office.
Second YouTuber to run for office. Idiot. And this is a guy that at least Carl Benjamin has put out, 3-hour-long videos talking about the left or whatever.
Right.
And I can, at least you put some thought into it. His claim to fame is, doing public pranks that play off of, people's fear of minorities.
Right.
My prank where I say the N-word in the ghetto.
Right. Yeah.
Gone sexual. It's fucking amazing. All of his videos are, absolute garbage. And that he's also got videos of him pissing into his own mouth.
What?
That's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I do want that in a congressman, though.
Yeah.
I can definitely say.
Why?
Because, it kind of puts them in a position that, if they upset you or have the wrong ideals in your opinion and all that, at least they've pissed into their own mouth.
Yeah.
It's kind of, it's the world's equalizer.
It's the level of accountability I wish we could hold everybody up to.
Exactly. That's a good thing to sentence them to, is pissing into their own mouth.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that, but
Sure.
Fuck. He's also got a video of him. He put his penis into a hot dog bun and had his friend who was videotaping squirt mustard on his.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Is this what it takes to get successful nowadays? Yeah. I mean, we should do that.
This is why we haven't taken off as much as we could.
Yeah, flop it into a bun and then enjoy the type of people who follow that.
Chris, you are so lucky you got successful before all this shit had to happen.
Yeah. Boy, howdy. I agree. Sargon makes us at least a bit of sense. He tries to talk political. I can say that much. But then you brought out Joey Salads, and I think he's going to quickly learn that the people who enjoy a nice salad prank don't vote.
And he's running in New York, which is I don't know if he's running in New York City or I guess New York 11. Right?
He's in Staten Island, baby.
He's in Staten Island,
right?
Well,
which
leans,
I would say, probably leans in the direction against a Joey Salads type of fella.
Probably. And it's just funny going through his Twitter feed and seeing him getting into arguments about the concept behind a minimum wage.
Jesus.
Or the fact that he's trying to turn I predict Twitter will unban them on conservative, just getting involved in any sort of political discourse when this guy pissed into his own mouth.
Right.
It's just fucking.
Okay, here's his campaign ad. Black screen, white text. Are you getting what you want out of your Congress? And then shot of Joey Salads pissing into his own mouth. Shot of him flopping his dick into a hot dog bun. And then it says, vote for Joey Salads. This message endorsed by Joey Salads.
With an American flag in the background.
Yeah, you gotta have it transparent-ish. And while that hot dog... I mean, what's more American than a hot dog, I guess?
A dick hot dog at the ball game.
Yeah.
With a couple of friends. Please tell me there's no one else on the list.
Those are the only two that I've seen. But it's gonna get worse.
I want to say there is one YouTuber who I think should run for office because he would get my vote.
Milo, you're not. No, I'm kidding.
Review of the week.
Review Bra.
Review Bra. He should run for office.
Why?
He's the pro Jared that hasn't disappointed us.
Yeah, he does dress like a guy who's constantly
That's
campaigning.
all I need.
Exactly. I mean, his campaign video would be shot from inside his car.
Right. Outside of a Wendy's.
Yeah.
Yeah, supporting local business, Wendy's.
I'm for that. If he runs, I'll vote against Joey Salads, and Sargon to vote
I'll
for
do
Review
anything I can to vote against Joey Salads.
Yeah.
Anything.
Move to New York.
Exactly.
If people start kind of covering that and it picks up a lot of steam, you're going to see a lot of fucking idiots trying to run for a job that they have no interest in like that.
Zwick in the chat says, what congressman hasn't pissed in their own mouth? I mean, we're still waiting for the Trump P-tapes, right?
Oh, man. They got to be out there.
Is that still happening?
I hope so. I want to see what distance you use in a situation like that.
Is there
manners?
I say we just get Joey Salads to be president so we no longer have to look for the P-tapes.
Is that your
release him.
punishment?
Yeah, you make Joey Salads the vice president, you impeach Trump, and then we got P-tapes.
That's great. Everyone wins.
Yeah. That's the most
Done
creative
and
sentence that I think we've come up with so far. And it'll be life-changing. There's got to be more of these though. More people are going to run. You're going to see Armored Skeptic run. Can you imagine?
No.
Picture me for a second. A House of Cards remake with Armored Skeptic and Shoe on.
That makes me so sad. Not even. I go right past anger into sadness. I'm just like split second.
Speaking of sadness, if you haven't listened to Thought Cops before, every week we investigate the internet's outrage-inducing news stories and then sentence each perpetrator to a cruel and unusual punishment. What do you want to start with?
I got one here.
Yeah.
So I actually just saw Joey Saladino talking about this, so let's get right to it. The Krasenstein brothers were banned from Twitter.
Who are these people?
Click on that YouTube link.
Should we watch this live?
Yeah.
To the story, I didn't really give much commentary. Sometimes I do, sometimes I
This
don't.
music.
That's where Ed and Brian Krasenstein come in.
So it has 30 likes in 37 seconds. I think it's a pretty big moment. I already tweeted with Hill Reporter a few seconds ago. So.
Ed and Brian are twin brothers who do everything
These
together.
guys are pissing me off. I don't know who they are, but they're pissing me off.
Oh, that's Ed and
They
Brian.
work out together. They live in matching giant houses in the same Fort Myers neighborhood.
It's like strangely
Since
incestuous.
2016,
Matching houses.
Together they have become the masters of the so-called hashtag resistance tweet. Tweets that goad Trump, suggest Russia's behind everything,
No.
and call for the president's impeachment multiple times a day, every day. All with plenty of
Are these
exclamation points.
reply
I
guys?
think the tweet that I...
Jesus. Right
Cut it
here?
there.
Cut
Cut
it?
it there, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can. We're good with just that.
So the Krasenstein brothers are alpha reply guys. These are the Chads of reply guys. These guys are
They really are. They work out and everything.
these are beasts of men. Replying to the president every single day, and then making literally a full-time job out of it.
Oh my
Jesus
god.
Christ.
That's all about just being fast, not having substance.
It's like, what is their sleeping schedule like? These guys have
Hey,
like
some of us are fast and have substance.
You hear that, ladies?
312-788-7361, ladies. Give me a call.
7367.
Fast,
What the fuck
fast
is the
and
number?
I have some substance. 312-788-7361.
who knows? So Twitter banned the hashtag resistance famous Krasenstein brothers for allegedly operating fake account. Or hold on, let me redo that. The stupid Daily Beast just closed on me.
Oh, God damn it.
Be sure to pay for a subscription.
Right? Yes, I should. All right, take two. God, these. Hold on. Sorry, Chris.
I'm getting the same issue. It's like, oh, you're using an ad blocker.
I got it here now. Okay, take three. What the? As soon as I said take three, they just disappeared.
Do you want to find it on a different...
Oh no, it came back. It came back. For now.
Screenshot it. Scroll shot it.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
Take four. Twitter bans hashtag resistance famous Krasenstein brothers for allegedly operating fake accounts. So, Twitter has permanently banned the prominent anti-Trump brothers, Brian and Ed Krasenstein, alleging that two of the biggest hashtag resistance Twitter stars had broken the site's rules about operating fake accounts and purchasing fake interactions. The Twitter rules apply to everyone, a Twitter spokesperson said in the statement. Operating multiple fake accounts and purchasing account interactions are strictly prohibited. Engaging in these behaviors will result in permanent suspension from the service. So, it's a major loss for the boys.
Oh yeah, they're going to lose their matching houses.
That's the big thing, yeah.
That's insane. And I have a huge problem with this concept of twins. And I think that this is Hitler's perfect future that we're seeing now. Basically,
Weirdly enough, yeah.
Yeah, the idea of like the outrage click kind of thing, and people trying to make careers out of this. People like Sargon fall into this category where you pick whatever side, and then you got to make sure that they're pissed and agreeing with you, and then the dust clears, and then you got your next day of work where you got to kind of invent something and they keep people pissed and agreeing with you. And I just I don't think that that's a good career path at all. Where you just okay, I'm staunch this. Now, how can we make this work every fucking day?
So speaking of creating things, they actually published a children's book called How the People Trumped Ronald Plump.
What?
Yeah, it's a very poorly illustrated children's book. Maybe you could give them a couple pointers in, I guess, just anything really, except how to get 2 matching mansions. But
okay, I'm seeing Ronald Plump in front of me now.
Sorry, what was that, Chris?
I said I'm seeing Ronald Plump now. I'm looking at their cover.
Yeah, and that's a less pockmarked Steve Bannon that's speaking into his ear.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. This is something you'll see with a lot of people who are like, I'm thinking about doing a book. I'm thinking about doing a drawing. And they always go to children's books. And
kids are stupid.
Yeah, there's a big resurgence of like children's books for adults. I don't think we've talked about it on the show, but I see it more and more, and it's infuriating.
Like that go the fuck to sleep.
Yeah, I think that started the trend, and everything after that's just like a children's book for an adult, because I can't create a coherent. I can only speak in 140 characters, so that's about all I can put into the effort I do in writing.
And the world is scary.
Yeah. The world is scary, and this is what you should think. And yeah, I agree. I don't want to meet the kids who read children's political books, but I bet these are flying off the shelf at Spencer's.
Yeah.
So Grant, could you go ahead and cue up the gun sound effect? I want to do a quick 21 gun salute.
Oh, Jesus.
For the Krasenstein brothers.
Well, while I look for which one is the
H.
2, 3 times 7.
Fair
Is
enough.
that good enough?
That's fair.
It's one of those issues, though, where it's like, the whole empty vessels, make the loudest sound bullshit, where it's like, where's, like you were talking about, Chris, with like Sargon and a lot of these people, it's like, when push comes to shove, where's the substance, like, if all goes wrong, what do these guys have to fall back on? And you're seeing that more with like people like Sargon, who are just like out of their element. People like Dave Rubin, who everyone's kind of been calling a hack for a while, and then like just these open mouth talking pieces for these points of view that they've put like next to no thought or effort into having. And these are just like the quintessential distilled versions of it, where they just tweet out hashtags, and it's like, what do you think their political career is going to be after this? It's going to be like nothing. They're going to retire. They're going to stop posting on Twitter, and they're just going to live their lives lifting and sucking each other off.
If they run for president, the problem is going to be who's going to be the vice president.
Fuck.
There's a third brother that we don't know about.
He's the biggest one of them all.
Yeah.
That's how
they don't even invite me over to lift because I lift too much.
Anyway,
I lifted their houses.
Punishment for the Krasenstein brothers, since they, I don't know what their full income and revenue is, but I think they're going to have to lose those houses, and they're going to have to move back into their bunk beds in their parents' house, where they squabble over again who gets the top bunk.
Yeah. Oh, they both get the top bunk.
Yeah, creepily enough, yes.
Or how Ben Carson was like famously
untwinning.
Untwinned. They should get retwinned.
Yes.
They should get sutured up together. Have to fucking
one's got to absorb the other
to each other.
Yeah, there's just no way to sustain any of that. Not at all. And I just find it so, it's like you'll find people trying to carry on being those mouthpieces, and you'll see how not passionate they are about certain things. But they have to pick the most kind of ragey side of any sort of circumstance. Yeah. And the idea of just trying to race to a tweet to reply first to promote your business, that's exhausting. That's
disgusting.
Fucking... It's disgusting. It's pitiful. It's exhausting.
So we talked a little bit about pranks earlier. You know, Joey Salads likes to have a prank YouTube. There was another. Maybe this is another prank pulled. I'm not sure. Maybe if I'm rubbing my eyes and I'm blinking and I'm like, I can't believe what I'm seeing. The Game of Thrones finale. Is that a damn water bottle? Y'all see this? In the Game of Thrones finale. Well, if you knew previously, we talked on the show that someone left
spoilers.
Skip ahead if you don't want to. Yeah, I guess I should have said that up front. They're okay, fine. There's a water bottle in the Game of Thrones finale.
They ran out of main characters, so they're just
yeah. They're just like, oh, this is Lord Dasani of whatever. So someone left
it's the hardest hitting joke we've had all episode. Started off strong with the I am Sam, and we just kept going.
I don't watch Game of Thrones, but I see it next to this guy who is dressed as a human oven mitt.
Yeah.
That is apt, yeah. So...
I mean, it's not like... This isn't historical, right? Can they just include bottled beverages?
Yeah. It's just strange because he didn't see plastic the rest of the show, you know?
Right.
And a couple weeks ago, there was a Starbucks cup, and people in general have not liked this season, so...
And then I think people took this water bottle to mean, okay, now they really don't care. Okay, so the Game of Thrones finale came out, and I think this is the first episode since it came out, right? Yeah, it is. So...
This is the final one that it happened in.
Exactly. Yeah. So everybody online was going on saying, I hated the episode because this didn't happen, or this happened, or I wanted this to happen, I wanted that not to happen, whatever. But then they all kind of came together and were like, there's a damn water bottle by that guy's leg. How did they not see that? So personally, I didn't see it. I guess I'm stupid or whatever.
It's like the sacrificial fucking scapegoat, you know, that they used to have in like prehistoric times, where they used to cast all the sin onto a goat and then cast it into the desert. That's this water bottle, but for all of the hatred towards Game of Thrones.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, this kind of all falls under one person's occupation, right? Like, I think director of photography or something like that. Just seems like maybe he was having a tired time on the job. He was just kind of asleep at the wheel.
If you've ever been in like on a production set, it is
which we both have, definitely. No,
it is so fine tuned.
I'm uncultured,
and just the amount of obsessive nature over making sure that everything goes according to plan.
Yeah,
and for something this huge,
twice.
Yeah, it's just bizarre. So I don't know.
People hate it.
So I guess we could just jump to the punishment right away. I know last time I think we just said that they were going to get splashed with hot coffee. As hot as Drogon's dragon breath. So this time, what should it be?
Very cold water that makes them go, ugh.
Like a touch from a White Walker. You can,
yeah.
That was momentarily uncomfortable.
Yeah, I should have just gone with the original one.
Hey, do both, you know? Splash him with hot coffee and then splash him with really cold water.
That's called a contrast shower, and it's great for your skin.
And that's what we want, to punish them with great skin.
That's why they use that in interrogations.
Porque no los dos.
So, what's next?
I got kind of a follow-up with the Arthur story. Alabama bans Arthur.
The show, right?
Yeah. Did you? Yeah. Are you familiar with the story of they made Mr. Ratburn gay?
Yeah, I am familiar with that.
And then the state of Alabama banned the episode of Arthur.
Okay. I mean, Alabama, it's kind of no surprise. If it was going to be a state, Alabama makes sense. But,
for some reason, it has to be a state that does this.
I just love when things like that go to state level. Like, they're going to be really shocked when they understand the amount of things they're going to have to ban.
This is going to be like the new Prohibition era for like 6-year-olds crossing state lines so they can see the gay rat
I think the best joke that I've seen about it is why didn't PBS just make it so that Mr. Ratburn was marrying his cousin?
Right.
Who's a girl, by the way?
No, just you can still have it be a gay. Well, yeah, whatever.
Like, as long as they're cousins, that's all we care about.
We'll
Keep
throw
the
in
bloodlines pure.
some gender transitions, and then you have Alabama's #1 state enemy,
Arthur, the Arthur.
And the punishment is that is now on the Alabama state flag. Gay rat wedding.
Yes, that's great. I think that if I can add on to that punishment,
Absolutely.
I would like an extended cut scene, a cut extended scene from Arthur that is the wedding night.
Yes.
And just kind of really stretch that to be about 10-15 minutes and interrupt everyone's broadcast with it.
So I could be wrong about this, and maybe I'm misremembering, but didn't the rabbit have 2 moms? Buster?
I personally don't know. Arthur's in one of my blind spots.
Yeah, I don't know because it's a baby show or whatever.
Exactly.
Gay baby show. It's a show for gay babies.
Yeah, exactly. You can't, I could never hear the words because I was grinding my teeth too much. Which babies don't have to worry about that.
I hope
no.
So. You might be right. This is holy shit. Kevin might have stumbled onto prehistoric culture war. This is back during the early internet. This is a New York Times article from January 27, 2005, entitled "Culture Wars Pull Buster into the Fray." Holy shit! This is
as old as Cyanide and Happiness.
This is some high level detective work.
Oh my!
Holy shit! Postcards from Buster was scheduled for February and included 2 lesbian mothers. Holy shit. Arthur's been ruining the sanctity of heterosexual marriage for well over a decade now.
Somebody had to. Probably got time for like one more, right?
Sure. Yeah, I got time.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right. Michael Keaton. God, hold on. Give me a second. I just lost my train of thought.
What is
Michael Keaton? Christian Bale.
No. The guy that got throat cancer. What's his name?
Adam West.
No, not Adam West. Well, yeah, technically Adam West.
I know what you're talking about, where someone got throat cancer. Was it from going down on someone too much? Right?
What?
Allegedly. Right. Yeah. There's Michael Keaton. There's Christian Bale. There's
Val Kilmer had cancer recently. He's better.
Right.
Val Kilmer.
Okay, so let's take it from here, Zwick.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
No, keep going.
Keep that on the screen, please.
Keep going. All right.
Adam West.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton. Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
Christian Bale.
No, you skipped George Clooney.
God damn it.
Start over.
Okay. There's so many.
Who the fuck is Lewis Wilson?
Fuck him. Adam West. Michael Keaton. Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
George Clooney. Christian Bale.
Yeah, who's after that?
Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
What do all these gentlemen have in common, you might wonder? Well, they all played Batman.
That is true.
People
like
are
2 minutes to get to.
People are up in arms because the new Batman is this freaking sparkly vampire, the prissy sparkly vampire, but says the guys who haven't watched a movie in the last 10 years.
So who are you talking about?
Robert Pattinson is apparently going to be the new Batman.
Yeah, people are pretty pissed.
He's been in some good movies. He's had some good roles in the last years. You got to sometimes you got
Twilight.
Yeah, Twilight 1, Twilight 2,
Twilight 3 too, I heard.
Twilight 4.5,
right,
and so forth.
Twilight Chain of Memories.
Exactly. Dream Drop Distance. So yeah, it's Robert Why? My only gripe is, why is there a new Batman? We just got one.
I think he dropped out. I think he was basically castigated from the general audience, saying that's not Batman, which is an odd choice.
Wait, shoot, camera points at Crocodile Dundee. You call that Batman?
He is a Batman.
He is
Batman. Not my first pick, but they mostly have to do acting with their lips and chin. And I think I guess I can see that working better than like Steve Buscemi.
True.
Yeah.
So can you pull that up and see what movie this is supposed to be? I think it's
called The Batman is the name of the movie.
It's like a standalone Batman movie.
Hopefully.
Is he gonna is his Joker gonna be the Joaquin Phoenix Joker, I wonder?
I don't know.
I would doubt that. I mean, I wouldn't think Joaquin Phoenix, he kind of sticks to kind of film house artsy films and stuff. I'd be really surprised if he came on and was a more pulpy kind of Joker.
So is it going to be Jared Leto?
I think so.
Oh,
I'm assuming so. Because aren't they're like rebooting the entire Suicide Squad franchise, I believe.
Yeah.
From what I've heard.
And a lot of people were complaining about, there wasn't, like, Jared Leto was all of the marketing material, but wasn't really in the film, yada, yada. And Jared Leto's probably like, Jared Leto loves Jared Leto. So he's probably like, this is my time to shine.
Didn't they get sued for that? I think that they got sued for that when that movie came out. Yeah.
So Grant, how do you feel about this? Are you mad that Batman's a little sparkly vampire, prissy boy?
I will say that I am become death destroyer of movie franchises because one of my friends on Facebook posted a link to people are petitioning Kristen Stewart to play like Batwoman or something or Catwoman. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what's going to happen next is Taylor Lautner is going to be Joker, and then a couple days later, petition to make Taylor Lautner Joker.
Was it another change.org?
So I did another change.org petition.
Another one.
So we've come full circle, and we're remaking the Twilight movies with the same cast but with different characters.
Yeah, we haven't seen a buff Joker yet. That's true.
Could use one.
That is true.
America could use one right now.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind like Mickey Rourke playing the Joker. Yeah. So, cast whoever, right? Like now I never really understood why Batman, whoever was casted as him, wasn't really all that big a deal like it is now. But I would like to see crazier casting myself. I mean, I feel like this is kind of safe. He's got a following. I think people knew that they'd be a little uproarious about it, and that's free marketing. Great, but it could be weirder. I mean, Robert Pattinson is such like he looks like every generic white male in an RPG. That as soon as you're making a custom character, that there's him T-posing.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I think the perfect pick would be Joey Salads.
Yes! Yes, Queen. No, I'd love Joey Salads to play Batman. It would make more sense of what he's doing now.
True.
Honestly, yes.
I do have to say, though, like, every time there's outrage about this type of thing, the person who does it, like, the person who's cast actually plays the role pretty well. Like, I feel like people don't remember this because it was a while ago. But when Heath Ledger was cast to play the Joker, people were like pissed off about it. They were like, "Oh, he's the shitty rom-com guy."
Right.
And then he won like a posthumous Oscar for it.
Right.
I think.
Yeah, and he won a free trip to heaven.
They were going to send him elsewhere, but they're like, "All right, the movie's good. Bring him up, boys." Anyway.
Yeah.
So what's the punishment here? We just remake the movie with Twilight characters?
I think that's the best.
You could bring the nipples back to the suit.
Yes. Oh, there we go. And make them twisted all around upside down.
Yeah, make them Australian nipples. And
solve two bats with one stone, as I like to say.
That old phrase.
You say that all the time. Classic.
I really do.
So let's go to Key to the City. We'd like to end on a positive note here because Thought Cops does shine a light on a lot of filth in the world, and let's just go right with it. My key to the city this week. This is the key to Neo Chicago. where we're recording right now. My key to the city is bowling alley screen memes. You know when you bowl a strike and the bowling alley screen just goes all trippy and crazy and stuff?
Yeah, they play a crazy animation. All the pins are dancing around or something.
Right. So people have... This is one of those things where I just love when people latch onto this really specific weird thing, because we all know about this.
Yeah.
But we've never... I don't think anybody's like verbalized it.
It's never been brought up in like the context of the internet.
Like, look at that one right there.
It's remained innocent for a long time. Which one?
Like the bowling alley, the bowling pin is shaped like a sheriff. I wish you guys at home could see this.
Just Google bowling alley.
Just go to your local bowling alley and bowl a strike.
Yeah. Good luck.
Have fun.
They're great. I love that they have that 1999 level of 3D, and they're just keeping it that way. It's so charming.
It really is. Honestly, it is.
Speaking
and usually,
of,
like if you're with company, you bowl a strike, and they're all kind of pissed off about it, but then they have this celebration blaring on their face.
And then you got this dancing fucking pin that's shoving it straight in their faces.
Like the pins are fucking raving on the screen when you pull a strike.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I'm for that. There's been some good memes about it? Is that the situation?
Basically, it's like anyone who finds some weird, trippy, like you said, 1999-esque lo-fi graphics, CGI, whatever. They're just like, the meme is like when you bowl a strike, and the bowling alley screen when you bowl a strike, and it's just the weirdest CGI mess.
Yeah, I love it. I wish that you could have that kind of celebration in just regular life, where a screen pops down and there's confetti flying all around. Everybody's dancing. We could use that.
I wonder which side of the political aisle is going to appropriate this meme next.
I hate you.
My key to the city this week goes to the abortion meme. We both have memes on the mind. Chris, have you seen any of these abortion memes?
I would love to.
I think if you just search abortion meme...
It's not as bad as it sounds.
It's actually that auto-corrected in my search history. So let's auto-filled. So looks like I've been down this road.
It's like
it'll be
look for
don't actually Google it, because apparently did this wrong.
Look for the aborted BF or something.
As in like what if you were aborted kind of thing?
Sort of, yeah. One that I saw was like if Donald Trump was aborted, and it's sort of like he's sort of faded a little bit.
That's one right there. Aborted
Trump.
They'll go up a little bit more. The original.
Well, let me do this one, because this is the one that I saw that I thought was funny. And like Donald Trump is translucent, and he's like, "I was aborted, sad."
Because the original source material was one that was put out in sincerity, called "The Aborted Older Brother." It's an illustration of this boy with a backpack that says, "I'd have protected you. I would have loved to take you fishing, little brother.
Tell mom I love her." Oh, Jesus. And people just fucking latched on and destroyed it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, it's obviously very divisive and tone deaf. So, yeah, exploit the shit out of it, really. There's a whole nation. There's a whole nation of aborted people who are very upset.
I wonder what that nation would be called.
We could make it a nation. I mean, like we have that garbage island, right? I say add a little gray star to the flag. And
Lars in the chat says abortia.
Abortia, that's beautiful.
I like it.
Sounds like my hand's over my heart right now.
I'm kneeling on the ground in protest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took off my hat.
As I always do.
Stand for the flag, kneel at the fetus. Anyway,
yeah, I see
Chris,
it right here. My key to the city.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it on brand here with memes, and
cool.
I would say that my key to the city would go to the best meme. I feel like it's hard to argue that it's not the best meme. It's steamed hams as a meme. I think that mostly memes are just kind of parroted. You know, if you were in school, you might, or like, I don't know, maybe you hang around these people in your adult life. I don't know why you would, but people who kind of don't have a sense of humor, but they reference quotes and senses.
I have a day job. I know.
That's everybody at work.
Exactly. And those, like, you have someone who just kind of quotes Borat or Family Guy or something.
My God.
Substitute of their sense of humor, in where it should be. And
Lakember in the chat says, my wife.
Cut his mic. Cut his mic.
My wife, she is nice. That's an ongoing thing on our podcast.
Oh, he was saying in terms of, I thought he meant my wife is someone who does this. Maybe he did. I actually don't know. This is ambiguous.
That's the Borat quote.
Yeah.
My wife.
Good work, Lakember. You got me questioning myself.
Nailed it. Yeah, basically, I feel like a lot of people, especially on the internet, don't have to be funny because they can just reference something funny. And but not with steamed hams. Steamed hams is all about putting in too much effort, and it's not a meme that sits there on its own. You have to bring a lot to it and conceptually, and it seems to have been going on for like 2 or 3 years now. Mm-hmm. And it is the chat of memes, easily.
Actually, I think, when did it come out? Like a year or two ago? I remember we did give this steamed hams meme a key to the city as well. Because
give it a second one.
No, it deserves it because, like you said, it takes a lot of effort to be involved in it. So all the people who want to do the lazy quoting and everything aren't going to go for that extra mile to make it work.
Yeah.
So the ones who are in it to win it.
Although I will say, as the show historian, you also brought up the fact that the guy who wrote the steamed hams episode posted his own steamed hams meme and then said, there we go, now the meme is over. And then you argued to end the meme.
That is true.
You argued to end the meme.
I was just going along with whatever Bill Oakley said. He wrote the episode, but I take it back because a couple months ago I saw a really funny one. It was edited to be like a classic Dragon Ball episode. And
there's so many good ones.
It was just perfect. So I was like, all right, maybe I'm a fucking hypocrite, whatever.
Well, I understand the idea of, all right, it's come full circle. Let's give it a proper burial. But steamed hams has benefited from not being buried. And it's so much better than those memes where it's like, oh, I know, I'll put 2 memes together. That's a joke. And every time that, like, steamed hams is always such a dumb concept that you see in a title of it or what have you. And then you check it out, and there's just so many ways for it to surprise you. And it kind of goes beyond a meme category into its own, where you actually got to put thought and work and hours into it.
And I love when it's a very rarely obscure reference. Yeah.
The more specific, the better.
Yeah, the more specific, the better with that. Like, if it's a reference to something just like nobody's seen or heard of in a long time, like home movies or something like that, it's just like, yes, this is what I've been waiting for.
Yeah, absolutely.
So before we get to plugs here, let's get to our Thought Cops word of the week. This week's Thought Cops word of the week is 2 words. It is daddy culture. This is when you see an older gentleman, like a middle-aged gentleman, picture of, and you just go like, you call him daddy or something. Not like literally, but I know people, and we've talked about him before on the show, Jeff Goldblum. People will just comment on a picture of Jeff Goldblum and say daddy.
I wonder who in our Discord you're talking about.
It's not just her, but she is part of the movement. So this week's Thought Cops word of the week is daddy
she says,
culture.
Fuck you haters, he's hot.
She also just left another voicemail, so.
I appreciate the thing that I find hottest about him is how unhinged he is. He seems like his brain is a dream journal, and he's just very, very marginally attached to reality. And all the interviews of him, he's rubbing people's legs and stuff like that. And I don't know where the daddy comes into it. Maybe it's the chest hair and the famous, him laying on the sofa thing.
Basically.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want him as a dad. Maybe being I guess being a guy in the situation. My daddy culture for me is I want him to be my dad. Not I want him to be my daddy. But
yeah, if I'm watching porn and the girl goes, "Oh, daddy, give it to me, daddy," I immediately close the window and
same.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not into it.
So, Zwick, you want to do us all a favor and isolate that audio clip?
Go ahead. I have no shame. No shame about that.
Yeah.
All right. So
it just gives me the sense of when they say daddy in porn, I just say, go to bed, brush your teeth. I'm very disappointed in you.
Does she mean daddy or daddy? That's what I asked.
The old dilemma. So before we get to our final segment, the voicemails, Chris, go ahead and plug whatever you want, man.
Oh,
Where
Jesus.
can we find your
I'd
stuff?
love to plug images.google.com. Great website.
Oh,
I did?
Did you cut out again?
Am I back?
Oh, yeah, you're back.
Yeah, you are now, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to plug images.google.com. One of my favorite websites for many years. Been a user. Go ahead and use codename Cyanide Happiness to get free images sent to you from what you search. And when you're done with that, you can check out our podcast. It's called Here's an Idea. We do it every week. We improvise scripts or else we're tortured. It's a lot of fun. Bit of a soap opera. If you're one of those fucking podcast nerds, there's another one out there.
They're always frothing for more, I say.
Yeah, I'm one of those people. Thank you, Zwick. Yes. That's it for my plugs. We're doing lots, but I'm just going to keep it to that.
Well, any Twitter, Instagram you want to...
You can follow me on Twitter, Kris Wilson, spelled with the K, K-R-I-S. It's really stupid, I know. I didn't ask for this, but...
None of us did.
Yeah. _ Kris Wilson _ on Twitter and Kris Explosm on Instagram. And, follow me. Follow me, my children.
I do.
Oh, thank you.
So if you scroll up to where Zwick said I was drunk and naked when I recorded and edited this, we'll start with that one.
Okay.
You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals, so let's
Jesus
do
Christ.
it like they do on the Discovery Channel.
It sounds drunk and naked.
You and
I coulda
me,
guessed that.
baby, ain't
Yeah.
nothing but mammals, so let's do it like they do on the Discovery Channel. Do it again now. You and me, baby, ain't nothing but
We're gonna get a
mammals, so
copyright
let's
strike for
do
this.
it like they do on the Discovery Channel. Do it again now. Me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals, so let's
There's
do
verses
it like they
to this
do on
song,
the
Zwick.
Discovery Channel. Good
There's
one now.
verses.
Hey Grant, how's it going? Oh, I'm too good to like Bloodhound Gang because I have a sophisticated musical palate.
I do.
Fuck yourself. I'm sorry
I
you
might.
can't enjoy music that defined the 90s like Bloodhound Gang
I
or
do.
Insane Clown Posse or Cascada
all right,
or
not
fucking
no-
The Offspring.
those.
I don't
Lost
know.
me, Zwick.
I'm sorry I couldn't enjoy the fucking
Cascada.
oil rink like you did where you just you just pout and we go like, oh, this is fucking terrible music. I
Yeah,
can't
and I
enjoy
listened to
this.
the Smashing
I have no
Pumpkins
fucking
and
life.
pounded.
Oh, woohoo! Fuck it, baby back, bitch. Oh, I'm a big musician who can't enjoy fucking fun music. Suck
2 or
my
3
fat,
daddy sodas
nasty
into the
dick.
night.
Gosh damn. I've sucked more dick than anyone on this show, and you're still gayer than me. That's fucking crazy. But anywho,
I don't listen to the Bloodhound Gang,
Chris,
so.
thanks for coming on the podcast. You're fucking great. I was just wondering if you had any cool like stories with Dave and Chase. I know the show's about you, but they deserve way more love than they get because
They do.
they're fucking hilarious. They did Tomorrow's
They are,
Nobody's when it was fucking awesome on Newgrounds, and then they did the Channel 8. I can't. Oh my gosh!
Yep,
Why do I
Channel
think so
8's
much?
right.
And then
It's not
and then
that hard
they did
to
the
say.
and now they're doing the fucking jank ass podcasts.
That's
which
correct.
is
Get
a
to the
Patreon
end of the
exclusive,
question.
and I don't know.
This is a great
They're
plug.
just fucking hilarious. I was wondering if you had any cool stories with them or anything like that. Have a good
I
one,
don't
guys.
believe the music's still playing in the background.
That's great, Zwick.
I guess it's fading out.
I agree with
gracefully.
him on the Chase and David stuff. I
What the
I don't know about
fuck?
the ICP stuff so much.
You're not a big fan of hard hitting 90s artists like Insane Clown Posse or Cascada.
Because when you think of the 90s,
I've never heard of Cascada.
I thought she was more of a 2000s thing.
I don't know, man.
Who cares?
Yeah, any fun stories with those guys?
Yeah, tons. Those guys are great, and Jank Ass Podcast is great. Chase basically invented the model in which our animations are based off of. We've worked with him for over a decade. Those guys are awesome. One time I went down to Phoenix just to hang out with them and visit them, and it was about 5 days, and I remember very little because we were so fucking hammered the entire time. And then by the time I flew home, I get this directory of pictures sent to me. and I check it out, and apparently I had rented an astronaut costume from a costume store, and I had decided to, I guess, be an astronaut all throughout Phoenix and out in public and shit like that, and they have pictures of me pretending like I'm floating around outside of convenience stores and shit like that. It was crazy, but I got to be in one of the David Forgets episodes where David and I fought to the death, where, you know, he didn't trust the astronaut, and that was me. And I don't know where I'm going with this, but it's more of just imagine the feeling that you go and you hang out with some friends for a week, and you're just landing and you're hungover as shit, and then I guess you just get a bunch of pictures of shit that if you would have told me that, I would have said no fucking way, I didn't do that. But I don't know, I could keep going. I've known them for years, so there's a lot of different stories, but I can always flash back to the moment that David and I fought to the death in an astronaut costume.
Makes me want to go up to Boys Town and find a shop with a astronaut costume. Yeah. I'm sure it has assless chaps in it, but you know, and still,
those are easy to make. You know, channel your favorite cosplayer and put a spin on it. The only astronaut with his ass cheeks out.
The astronaut.
I like it.
Yeah.
Second good bit of the show.
Thank you.
Are you guys familiar with Chase and David, or is this inside baseball?
I'm not personally.
Yeah, it's inside baseball for you and Zwick, but you know.
Well, I apologize to everyone except Zwick.
People will enjoy it, you know.
Apology unaccepted.
Okay, I deserve that.
He appreciates it. All right, let's do. Did you do the Italian hand or the?
Oh, the fingertips. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's do 2 minutes hate new device.
Hey, Thought Cops, IoNetrunner here, and this week my 2 minutes of hate is setting up a new device. It fucking sucks. They pretend like it's going to be easy, like you can just transfer all your shit from one device to the next one, but it never fucking works. Your settings don't go. And then you got to go through and open up all these apps and sign into them, and they give you a fucking little tutorial like you've never used the app. Meanwhile, you've been using it for like 5 years now, but first time I've been opened on this device, let me give you the tutorial and walk you through what all the little buttons and icons do. Like, fuck you, just fucking let me sign in and get my shit, you fucking cocksuckers! Thanks, guys.
Well, Grant, I know you mentioned earlier in the show, across the world, kids are being blown up. So, then there's this problem.
I mean, you don't apply that to everything.
I'm pretty sure I heard a grenade pin being pulled at the end of that voicemail. Yeah. He's broken. You pushed him too far.
Every time I picture IoNetrunner, I picture him like at his office that he says he works at. I don't know what he does or anything, but he's always like, yeah, I work in an office, whatever. I tell my coworkers to listen to the podcast and stuff. I always just picture him as like the guy in Office Space who just like blows the building up.
Milton.
Like, yeah. It's always like, I have to set up a new device. And the device he's setting up is, a grenade.
It's a red stapler.
Yeah.
I can't agree with him. I recently switched from iPhone to Android, back to Android, and pretty much lost everything.
Like a smart person.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And they always try to keep you committed, depending on how much you've spent on their store, because that's the only thing that makes a good phone is a good store. And I lost just about everything making the switch. So it's great because every text you get is just a phone number, and that's always great for anxiety and stuff. Just someone saying, "I'm going to be there in 20 minutes," and you have no idea who's texting you.
Could have been one of those crazy fans online.
Yeah. Hopefully. Yeah. Come to my door. Let's tussle. We'll tussle on my front porch.
Let's put that next voicemail here.
Do the one that's titled Riley Sama.
Hey, Thought Cops, it's Riley. I'm calling in with a prompt for the two of you boys to talk about with Kris. If you guys were your own little Cyanide and Happiness characters in one of those Cyanide and Happiness shorts, what misadventure do you think you'd get into?
what misadventures would we get into?
Running for political office.
But who gets to be the vice president?
Who gets to be the vice mayor?
Yeah, because that's we're not going separately. We got to both be the mayor.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys would be campaigning together, but also campaigning against each other to see who's the alpha mayor and who's the assistant
Reminds
mayor.
me of what I think it's like. Maybe it's a clickhole video that's like 500-pound man finally loses weight and becomes 250-pound men.
Do you know what hijinks you get into aside from the one Joey Salad is into?
That was like our pitch for okay, get this. We run for mayor. Yep, that's the whole comic. No, I think that there has to be some dark twist.
Yeah, okay, let me throw that into the mix. You guys are mayors. You're both, you're behind a podium speaking to your townspeople. But, a red dot starts gliding its way around you guys. Who is trying to assassinate you and why?
It would be
ourselves to fake our own deaths so that we don't have to be mayor anymore.
Yeah. And we just high five in the last panel or something.
Yeah, we get what we want. We become mayor, and then in our first act, we kill ourselves because we realize that it's actual work.
Yeah, but we also die because we're from the future and we killed our past selves.
Yeah.
It's so we create a paradox and the universe ceases to exist. That's the high level Rick and Morty level thought that we put into our work.
Yeah. It's a great decree as a mayor. It's excellent. We're going to destroy the timeline. Solid twist. It's great. It's always a great move. It's writing 101 to make sure your main characters die in the first act.
Yeah.
I'm into it. All right. Yeah, you got me on this pitch. Sold.
Awesome. Can't wait to see it.
Go to the podcast chat real quick.
Okay.
Oh no, he left 2 voicemails and he deleted one.
Okay, cool.
So we'll play that second one, the Australian nipple laws.mp3.
Nice.
Can't wait to hear this. Is this the Australian
Hi, this is Adelaide from Mount Misery, South Gippsland, Victoria, Australia. The nipple laws in our country date back to 1972, which is when we became an independent nation.
Say that I wouldn't.
While the laws for human nipples are actually quite liberal. The laws for kangaroo nipples are quite strict and honestly rather sexist. A mob of male kangaroos, also known as bucks, may all be topless. But even one female, or flyer, can face decades of imprisonment for a single nip slip. Anyway, here are some other funny-sounding Australian terms. Didgeridoo. Billabong. Compulsory voting. Well, that's going to do it, boys. Also, Grant, when your mother calls you, you shouldn't just send her a text. Call her back. Be a good son.
I'm recording a podcast, Mom. That wasn't my mom that left the voicemail, by the way.
Your mom's not Australian?
That. No, my mom's not Australian. She's also not a robot.
Yeah, she's not a text-to-speech. Maybe someone who has to use that to communicate, someone handicapped. That's good.
My mother's not Siri. Despite what people may think.
The nice thing about doing this show is, we come in here ignorant as fuck, and we leave every time learning a little more.
I do feel cultured.
Yeah.
Like, I learned that didgeridoo is a funny word.
It is.
I'd agree.
Yeah.
I learned about animal nipples, which the first time I've kind of learned about animal genitalia since I was on the first podcast last week.
Yeah,
and that was from Lars from the first podcast, which
he seems to be pretty obsessed with it in a way.
Well, these episodes will be releasing simultaneously, so hey, to the better show go the spoils.
Ooh,
let's go. Nah, I'm not competitive. I don't care. Want to go to the last voicemail?
Yeah,
ready.
So we'll do Nico's VM.mp3.
I think I know where this is going.
Hey, bitch cop.
Come on.
Dunked.
You know who are really annoying? People who pit bull mommies. Like, pit bulls are cute, but people whose entire identity is that they own pit bulls are always annoying as fuck. and they have the biggest victim complexes. They're like, oh my god, pit bulls are so sweet all the time. I let my pit bull killer play with my newborn and and he doesn't bite my child. He's only eaten 3 babies. He's a good boy. And if you don't love my pit bull, you're a fucking asshole. Like just have a pit bull and be normal, and I won't, and no one will care. Like we shouldn't put down pit bulls. We should put down pit bull mommies because they're way fucking worse. I'd rather a million pit bulls eat a million babies than have to deal with one single pit bull mommy. Fucking annoying.
Well, you don't have to deal with that if you live in Australia. Or Alabama. Same thing. Alabama is the Australia of America. I've decided just now.
Be curious to find out what all the other ones are. Well, next episode, tune in to find out.
I can agree with that. When people are... I get really grossed out by anyone who baby talks to pets and calls themselves a pet mommy, things like that. It's fucking weird, right?
Yeah.
It seems like a kind of an on the spectrum kind of thing where you just kind of... You don't really trust or communicate well with people, so you have this little angel, which is, this thing that eats babies or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, especially, pit bulls for some reason get like all of that attention. Like people who own pit bulls will constantly be like, well, my pit bull never ate a baby. And it's like, well, that's not a high bar to, to strive for.
Yeah. And it's more of a question. It's more of a when than if.
Yeah.
How many? It's like, sir, how many babies has your pit bull met? 0? Well, call me when it meets one. That's what I'm trying to get at here.
Yeah. Well, maybe you shouldn't let your baby crawl into their food bowl. It's not the pit bull's fault.
All right. Well, that's been the show. You can support us at patreon.com/thoughtcups. You can be in the live chat here, communicate during the episodes, be a part of the show. You can also get our bonus episodes, Fire Bros, for just $2 a month. It's like basically nothing. And it helps us out a lot. So,
a lot.
If you feel like donating, we'd really appreciate it. Kris, thanks a ton for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Such a pleasure, guys. Thank you so much for having me on. I fucking love this show. So keep it going, or else I'm gonna be so pissed if you guys stop.
I will never stop.
We'll never let you down.
I will
Kris.
stop when I die, and then Kevin will just take it over.
And yes, thank
we'll
you.
Have to create a new grant.
Thank you to our friend Lars for hooking us up. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Lars.
And most of all, thank you to the listeners.
Aren't they sweet?
For listening. Yeah, they're the best.
From contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.
As they would say on PBS.
Unless you're in Alabama.
Yeah.
Which I've decided is the Australia of America.
They've banned PBS at this point.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.
Thanks for listening.
Mwah.